All right, folks, we got probably one of the hottest players in the world right now, Wyndham Clark, on the operating table. Finally found some good vids of him so we can kind of dissect what he does really well. And, well, I'm not going to say what he doesn't do well because I don't think he does anything wrong, quite frankly, in his golf swing. It's really good. Now, one thing about what you may or may not know about this young man is he he's one of the longest, if not the longest, hitter on tour. Which is hard to see when you're watching him on TV because he never swings out of control. He never looks like he's trying to hit it into oblivion either. He swings within balance, and it's always a pretty smooth a tempo. But his clubhead speed is 185. That's just traveling in play speed, and he can reach it up over 190. And watching his mechanics, I'm going to show you a few things what helps all this. Let's get into impact here. I'm going to show you something, folks. Look at a couple things here. When you start seeing this stuff, look how straight his lead leg is. You see that a lot with most of your guys on TV, but his right leg, his trail leg, is almost equally as straight. You know, they call this ground force. When he gets to the top of the swing, let's get him to the top now. Checking this top video here. He's already lowered 3 or 4 inches when he gets into transition. You know, this, I call it downward compression. His center of gravity is basically going this way before impact. Now, if you continue this, you're going to see it continues to go down and down. So he's lowered maybe 5 or 6 inches closer to the ground, his center of gravity. Now, for a layman golfer you watch on the weekend at your public golf course, that means you're going to enter the ground probably 7 inches behind the ball and chunk the hell out of it. But these guys on TV, they all do this. The ones that don't do it physically set up to the ball and their posture already preset downward almost. But the guys on TV, they do this, and it encourages a lot of lag. The only way to hit the ball solid when you downward compress like this is to have some angle at impact. And you can see him halfway down. His lead arm's here and the shaft's up there. He's got a lot of angle. Just a lot of lag. And basically his hands, by the time the club head gets to the ball, his hands have already passed. And so basically when you downward compress like that, you encourage lag. It doesn't create lag, but it does encourage it. Now let's watch where he gets all this distance from. Let me get rid of these lines. He gets to the top of the swing. Huge coil, huge shoulder turn. I mean, his shoulder turns past 90 degrees. All these young guys are. They're all probably going to be crippled by age 36. But hey, when you're this young, you just keep doing it. You're going to see him start squatting downward. Here's the downward compression, if you will. Then through impact, both legs are almost coming straight vertically, and his front toes, actually, his heel is off the ground at this point. I mean, so he's basically focusing all the speed and effort into the golf ball. Huge follow through. And it's one hell of a turn and pivot. I'm going to put one more line, 2 more lines up here, folks. I'm going to have you look at something here. Watch his hips. Let me see if I can get this a little bit better. Put this in slow motion. Now, hold on. Let's get in slow motion here. All right. Now, I want you to watch his hip, his pivot, and his pelvis here. It just rotates back and forth. There's not a lot of lateral move here, as you can see. He swings within the confines of his hips right there, and there's not a lot of lateral movement this way or that way. It's just a nice rotation around. And you couple that with a lot of lag, and man, you're going to hit the ball a long ways. Now, he is about 6 foot tall. I can't imagine this young man, if he was 6'4", how far he'd hit it. It'd almost be unfair. Now, let's look at the down video here. One thing I always check with these pros, and I see it all the time, is I try to keep them, see if they keep themselves inside the phone booth, so to speak. That's him at address. Now let's get into impact. Yeah, look at all the lag he has even on this down view. I mean, his left arm is just past 3 o'clock position. And look where his shaft is. I mean, it's pointing up there at the sky almost, for crying out loud. A lot of lag. In any event, let's get into impact here. Yeah, see now his tail end has not left the wall, so to speak. Now let's get I'm going to put a line up here where his head is currently. Now let's get him back to a setup position here. See how much he lowers. See that? He lowers almost 6 inches. Again, that doesn't create lag, but it does encourage it. Anytime you have this downward compression, you have to have some type of lag in your swing. Or, as in this case, the head position is going to go down and backwards a touch, which his does, obviously. And you create speed. This young man was the #1 junior golfer in the world, or in the country, when he came out of high school. He was also the #1 college player when he came out. And it's just a matter of time before he realizes how good he is. And I think you're starting to see that, especially with this year's results. I mean, he's been very successful already, and I still think the best is to come for him, for sure.